Let me start from something you already feel every time you watch something, not the story, not the picture, but that subtle sense that the audio just doesn't match what's happening on screen. The first time you live with the OXS S5, that disconnect simply melts away. This is for the kind of person who's tired of audio that settles for being loud instead of precise. You don't want sound that shouts at you, you want sound that makes sense. You want dialogue that stays anchored to the characters. You want effects that have placement, not chaos. You want bass that supports instead of dominating. You've noticed the imbalance for longer than you admit, and now you're ready to bridge that gap. Before you go any further, take a moment to check the current price and availability. Soundbars this clean and capable don't linger quietly on shelves. You probably started thinking about an upgrade the night a big scene didn't feel as intense as it should have. Or when voices got buried under sweeping music. Or when a fast-paced game felt wide but directionless. Those moments weren't dramatic, they were frustrating in a subtle, nagging way, the kind that only disappears once you finally fix it. Once the S5 is part of your setup, that frustration fades instantly. There's a sense of clarity that settles over everything you watch. Dialogue stays crisp without having to ride the remote. Effects spread out instead of stepping on each other. The built-in subwoofer gives punch without muddiness. And because it understands how your TV actually behaves, the experience feels cohesive instead of layered. In everyday use, that difference shows up everywhere. Movie nights feel fuller because ambience and voices don't collide. Sports feel more present because crowd noise and commentary coexist harmoniously. Gaming feels more intuitive because audio cues feel positioned, not flat. Even casual video streaming feels richer because every layer of sound has meaning, not noise. What really separates this from simpler systems isn't just the feature list, it's how thoughtfully it behaves. HDMI eARC brings clean audio flow. Dolby Atmos adds height without gimmicks. EQ modes adapt the sound instead of imposing it. Bluetooth and wired connections give you options without fuss. And once you live with that adaptability, going back to guesswork feels like a compromise. Quick nudge, don't assume price or stock will stay predictable. Gear that genuinely solves everyday audio problems tends to move faster than people expect. If you're wondering whether Dolby Atmos on a soundbar really matters, here's the clarity: it adds dimension where there was none before. Sound doesn't just spread wide, it feels above and around you without confusion. Once you experience that level of immersion, flat audio starts to feel shallow. There's a grounded satisfaction that comes with owning something like this. It doesn't shout specs. It doesn't demand attention. It turns it every time you press play. You don't explain your system to guests, you just let them notice it on their own. Dialogue stays anchored and natural. Effects spread with purpose. Bass feels punchy and controlled. Surround cues feel spacious and balanced. Watching feels more complete and natural. It's not built for people who treat audio as an afterthought, and it's not designed to be overpowering. This is for listeners who want sound that makes sense with what they see. Eventually, the comparison loop fades. You realize you're not choosing between features anymore, you're choosing how you want sound to support the moment every time you sit down. Don't let this become one of those upgrades you delay, then regret each time a scene feels flat or voices get buried. If you're ready for sound that finally matches the visuals, not just fills the room, check the current price, see what's available, and make the upgrade that genuinely improves every session you watch.